welcome back to day 6 of our Riḍván is Everywhere programming. My name is Yosi, and on behalf of the Riḍván is Everywhere team, I wanted to wish you welcome. And also to let you know that if you are not caught up, all 5 previous episodes to this one are available on this YouTube channel. So we hope that after you're done watching this episode, you'll go back and watch the rest. We wanted to do this as a service for families who are stuck at home during Riḍván, trying to figure out things to do to celebrate. So we hope you're enjoying the program. Today's theme is on attraction to beauty. We often talk about the declaration of Bahá'u'lláh during the festival of Riḍván as a private declaration in which he directly revealed his true station to only a select few, while his later proclamation in Adrianople to the kings and rulers of the world serves as his public announcement. Now, while his declaration in Baghdad in 1863 may have been private, it was by no means sparsely attended. Of the accounts that we do have, people were streaming into the garden from all over the city, day and night, poor and rich, from beggars to governors to muftis from neighboring cities and countries. Some even walked for months on foot simply to attain the presence of the Blessed Beauty. And what they sought was found upon their arrival in the beauty of his words, tablets, recitations, poems, kindnesses, counsels, and charities, which cheered the hearts and brightened the eyes of all that heard him and bore witness. Truly, every step of his imminent departure and exile from his most great house on the first day, or from the Garden of Riḍván on the 12th day, brought out untold weeping and wailing from the crowds. These friends simply couldn't bear the idea that they would ever have to be separated from Bahá'u'lláh. An attraction like that has the power to reshape the way we live our very lives, and a beauty like that has the ability and power to profoundly transform our minds. We too, all of us, have the blessing of being able to both recognize and to manifest aspects of that grand beauty. We can see that creativity and recognition in our love for the majesty and diversity of nature, our myriad modes of artistic expression, and our appreciation and celebration of all that our paths of service produce. We feel things deep in our hearts when we encounter a beautiful idea, an elegant scientific theory, the perfections of character in our friends, and order and meaning in the universe and society. How much more then might we feel it in pursuit of the beauty of our Creator? There are many things of great beauty we're excited to share with you today. Our dear friend Chloe Rouhani is back to show us how to make beautiful Riḍván decorations for our homes. As Abdul Baha said, our homes should be orderly and well organized, and that such a home and those who live in it would become a source of light and joy to others. Speaking of, don't forget to send us your videos and pictures of your drawings, colorings, crafts, and Riḍván greetings for everyone to see. We'd love to program them on our future episodes. They bring so much joy to the friends, and it's a big service to everyone's hearts that we hear from you. If you would like to submit, you can submit using the link in the description box below, and we really hope you do. When I think of our theme, it calls to mind a beautiful tablet that Bahá'u'lláh revealed during his exile in Baghdad. You can find its English translation in the book Days of Remembrance, and I strongly encourage you to explore it. In English, it's called The Tablet of the Wondrous Maiden. It tells this incredibly moving and symbolic story of humanity's troubled relationship with the divine. It tells the story of a divine beauty revealing itself to humanity in the form of a wondrous maiden, and of the various responses of different human conditions and souls to this divine spirit. Responses ranging from outright opposition to a kind of ecstatic, rapturous falling in love. But something interesting about it is that while the divine messenger Bahá'u'lláh who is telling the story and is delivering the message, can be considered as the outer expression and representation of God in the world and takes a masculine form. The divine spirit, which he describes, is revealing itself and can be considered as the inner representation of God, takes on a feminine form. It is this feminine figure, this wondrous maiden, that Baha'u'lláh describes as personifying the spirit of God within him. In the person of Baha'u'lláh, in his message, in his whole new spiritual paradigm that he has presented to the world, there is this simultaneous presence of both the masculine and feminine standing together at the very center of that paradigm. In fact, even his name Baha is grammatically feminine in Arabic. With this in mind, I think the tablet speaks in powerful language about the true beauty of the divine, that we humans see the reflections of in all created things, and describe with the names of God taught to us by God's manifestations from time immemorial. It illustrates, among other things, the powerful partnership and in fact oneness of the masculine and feminine attributes within the manifestations of God. It emphasizes the truth of the nobility of the feminine and bears witness to how the divine spirit is received, bringing us ever closer to the understanding of the oneness of humanity, the nature of the distinctions therein. I'm so grateful to my dear friend Luke Slott for putting melody to this tablet, and am blessed to share it with you now. Happy Riḍván. Enjoy.
Resplendent from behind the veil, how wondrous a thing, how wondrous indeed. And lo, the flame of rapture caused all souls to swoon away, How wondrous is this, how wondrous indeed. Rising up, they soared unto the blessed pavilion, 'neath the throne of heaven's canopy. How wondrous a mystery, how wondrous indeed. Say the maiden of eternity unveiled her face. May her wondrous beauty be exalted indeed, shedding forth from earth to heaven its resplendent rays. How wondrous a light, how wondrous indeed. A lightning glance she cast, as piercing as a shooting star. How wondrous her glance, how wondrous indeed. A glance consuming every name and every title in its flames. How wondrous a feat, how wondrous indeed. The dwellers the Spirit were perceived. How wondrous ascent, how wondrous indeed. In her right hand she bore the ruby wine, and in her left a portion of the finest fare. How wondrous a grace, how wondrous indeed. With hands encrimsoned with her ardent lover's blood, how wondrous is this, how wondrous indeed. In cups and chalices she passed around the wine of life. How wondrous a draught, how wondrous indeed. With harp and lute she sang in praise of her beloved. How wondrous a song, how wondrous indeed. Whereat the hearts were melted in consuming flames. How wondrous a love, how wondrous indeed. Of her sustaining beauty she bestowed a boundless share. How wondrous a share, how wondrous indeed. Then brought her sword of charm upon her lovers' necks. How wondrous a blow, how wondrous indeed. Her pearl-like teeth did flash no sooner had she smiled. How wondrous a pearl, how wondrous indeed. Whereat the hearts of them that know cried out and wept. How wondrous a piety, how wondrous indeed. But they that doubt and boast of self denied her truth. How astounding a denial, how astounding indeed. And hearing this in sorrow she repaired to her abode. How astounding her grief, how astounding indeed. She returned from whence she came. How lofty were the steps she traced. How astounding a decree, how astounding indeed. She cried a cry of anguish as to reduce all things to naught. he to be the guided and the loved ones of the Lord. By God, how astounding a life, how astounding indeed. Oh, my friends, she said, we shall not come again. How wondrous a return, how wondrous indeed. But we'll conceal God's secrets in his scriptures and his books, as bidden by one mighty and bounteous indeed. Nor shall ye find me till the promised one appear on Judgment Day, on Judgment Day. By my life, how astounding an abasement, how astounding an abasement, how astounding, how astounding indeed.
Hi everyone, I'm Chloe. Happy Riḍván. Today we're going to make these cool little crafts that are nice little decorations you can hang up on your wall, in your room, in the living room, anywhere that you guys want to decorate for Riḍván. So I've made a big one, which is, you can make it as long as you want, or you can make little ones, mini ones, whichever you prefer. I'm going to show you how to make the big ones, and then you can size it up or down depending on how big your paper is or how big you make your paper. So this set I made with a whole sheet of paper. So this is a full size sheet of paper. These ones, I cut these in half like this. So, and then I folded it. So it just depends on how big you like to make them. So let's get started. I'm gonna start by setting this aside. You want to take your paper and just fold a fan. So you want to fold one way, and then you want to fold the other. You want to fold back and forth like that to make this little fan shape all the way through the whole sheet of paper. And it doesn't take too long. You can do it in different ways, whatever's easiest. It does not have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly the same every fold. It makes it a little bit easier if it is, but this is a great activity for kids probably about 6 and up that can just fold paper. The paper I'm using is pretty stiff. If you have a thinner paper, it might be a little easier, but the good thing about a thick paper is that the decorations will last a while. So I took that fan, and now I'm just folding it in half. I had my fan, folded in half. And you want to fold it and make sure that it's really nice and folded together. Now, you're going to take these two in the middle and you're going to you're going to fasten them together. I like to use the stapler because it's a little bit quicker and easier. You can use tape, which I have here. You can use tape. For the middle one, you want to be able to, you want to just tape it on the back. But then when you start fastening them together, the tape gets a little harder because you have to fasten on both sides. The stapler, you do one staple and it's done. So it depends on what you're comfortable using. So I'm going to show you how to do a couple of these and fasten them together. And then you can just have fun making them as long or as short, as big or as little as you want to make them. The only thing that I would suggest is keeping them the same size throughout the whole string, because if you change sizes during or in one string of them, that makes it hard to fasten and the weight changes when you try and hang it up somewhere. So here is my next one. So you see how fast it can be done. Again, this is not perfect. You can see it's a little bit off here at the end. It does not matter that much. So I'm going to staple this again in the middle. And then to put these together, you want to make sure that you have this loose end or a folded end. So I like to make sure that my loose ends here are facing the same direction. And then you want to stack them, one going up and one going down. So then you're going to staple these together here, like this. And now they're together. And you'll just continue this on back and forth, up and down, the whole way across. I'll do one more for you guys to see how this will progress. And you can do this with multicolors. For Riḍván, I like to stick with pinks, reds, yellows, the colors that roses might be. But you can make them in any color. Even if you want to keep it more formal or something, you could do whites and creams, things like that. It's a very simple, very easy, very affordable decoration that you can make. Most people have paper that they can make. You could even decorate the paper, color the paper. If you have like old pictures or anything like that your kids have drawn, you could fold those up if they want and make them into a little decoration. So again, you see, it's not perfect, but in the big picture, see, I'm flipping this. The big picture doesn't matter. I'm flipping this again, so you get that rough edge against the same one. If I did it this way, then you get the ends back and forth, and it doesn't look as nice and clean. So again, I'm going to take those two, I'm going to staple them together here. And that gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. So you can continue this on, again, like I said, for as long as you want. I'll show you here. I have my long one here. So I can take this and I can staple these edges together. I'm trying to do this the right way. And continue it on and add to it. Now when you want to hang this up, it's a good idea to really fasten it. The paper can get really heavy, so I like to use thumbtacks or something like that. I've had success also with taping it to like curtain rods or something if you don't want to tape it directly to your wall. But make sure that you do use plenty of tape or string if you want to hole punch and string through it to make sure that it's fastened securely, because the paper does weigh. This one was up for a little while, and you can see that it was carrying the weight, and so it unfolded a little bit. And you can just fix that with a staple, or you can fix that with tape, whatever you'd like to do, and that'll re-cinch it back. So that's all I have for this craft today, guys. I hope that you have fun making these. They should be simple, easy. It's fun for the whole family. You can use as many papers as you want. And again, like I said, scrap papers, anything that you have to make these cool decorations. And so yeah, happy Riḍván and happy crafting. Take care.
Papa friends, this is Anissa. Happy Riḍván. Today I'm going to sing a song which I learned from Turin class and I want to sing it to you. We are drops of one ocean, of one ocean. We are waves of one sea, of one sea. Come and join us, come and join us in our quest for unity. It's a way of life for you and me. We are flowers of one garden, of one garden. We are leaves of one tree, of one tree. Come and join us, come and join us in our quest for unity. It's a way of life for you and me. All the earth is but one country, but one country. Man is one, can't you see, can't you see? Come and join us, come and join us in our quest for unity. It's a way of life for you and me. It's a way of life for you and me.
Happy Riḍván. This is June Perkins from Brisbane, Australia, and I'm going to share some poems with you. This first one is O Festival of Festivals. O festival of festivals, I hear the trumpet call, and am within your thrall. This day of days no poetry can ever truly capture. The joy of revelation released and flying heaven onto earth. And it lands. And in future times people will celebrate with tulips, roses, nightingales and songs. O joy of days foretold from every religion, I imagine myself time traveller crossing the river. Would I know the reality of what I was witnessing? I dream so, I hope so.
So here we are ready to drill out the blank. Gonna put a big hole all the way through it so I can put that tube in it. This is where we move the drill bit into the wood that's spinning, kind of the reverse of how we normally do it, or at least see it. The woods are all different hardnesses, and so that's a bit challenging to figure out how hard to push on each one. There, my son's still learning shop safety. Comes running in, and there we had a bit of a problem. The glue failed on one of the segments, keeping two of the segments together. So this is part of woodworking and figuring out how to make these things go together. So I'm was nervous at first, but luckily it was just the glue that failed, not a piece of wood. That's far more devastating when it's the wood that fails. So here, just kind of getting it prepped, preparing it, getting ready to reset the glue. So now I was trying to, then I had to think for a second, how am I going to get this on there? I can't just put it on. So I went and I got my glue board. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the shop, but this is the board I use that has all the, when I need to put glue on something to then put it onto something else. I had to kick out the dog and my son again. Keep running in and having too much fun. But then we get this glue board over here and kind of put the glue onto the piece of wood, and then I can brush it onto the wood as needed and make sure there's enough coverage. There's my glue board. You can see all the splotches on there. So we're gonna squeeze a little bit on there, dab it on, push it in tight, clamp it. Use the lathe itself and the drill bit as a clamp. Come back next day, pull out the drill bit. See, it seems nice and solid. Get it, clean off the drill bit a little bit. It's actually important. It's not just cleanliness to clean and OCD cleaning the drill bit. It does slow down the drilling process. You need to clean those flutes out so that the wood that it's chopping has somewhere to go. There was a pretty loud squeal with the way the drill bit was sitting there. because of the way it glued, I think it didn't sit quite right, and so it was squealing pretty good. But that happens sometimes, so I just kind of push it through, trying to figure it out, just get it done. Checking here to see if I went all the way through. Did not. It felt like it, but that last piece of wood was just a little too, had a little bit more to go. So clean off the drill bit one more time, squeeze it in, make sure it's seated in pretty close, and then we turn it on, a little bit more squeal as we just push through that final barrier on the wood. Now we're all the way through. Now there's a nice hole going all the way through, and relatively centered actually, which makes it easier when you get to the wood turning process. Now always losing the key for my chuck so I can open it, pull the wood out, check, make sure that the holes are okay. I didn't. Here we can see the brass tube going all the way inside. The tube is a bit longer, or I'm sorry, the blank is longer than the tube, so that we can trim it down to size.